Hope those guys keep their heads in swivels. Payback, as I said, is, I'll end it with this. You can't prove what didn't happen, and no one even had the decency to even call me. Cowards is the softest word I can use. What about that? Uncle T going out with a bang, man. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's just say that y'all are in for a treat with this video tonight. Y'all remember what happened a few days ago, right? The breaking news came out that quote-unquote Uncle T, this is a random person, a random alumni or booster for Michigan, he was the one who was funding this Connor Stallions, I guess you'd say, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess we'll just call it the Michigan Manifesto Plan. We already talked all about it. I'm not going to go over it again. If you want some details and you want to find out more information, we made a video a couple days ago. However, with that being said, we have a new update on this situation from no other than Uncle T himself. Yes, that's right. You heard me correctly. Uncle T has came out allegedly and spoken about this. I'm going to show you exactly what he had to say, and it's pretty interesting, at least to me. We're going to talk all about that, and we have one other topic to go over, and that is no other than an NFL player calling out college football, the game we all love the most. Apparently and allegedly to this NFL player, college football is hard to watch, and it's not that good. Yeah, I got a lot to say about that, because obviously I strongly disagree. Those are the two topics and two topics only we're going to discuss in tonight's video, but alright, Matt, blah, 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 shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, let's get this out of the way. This was trending all over Twitter a couple days ago. I've been meaning to talk about it, but we've had some other videos we've been working on, but we're talking about it now. David Bakhtiara, I hope I'm saying that correctly, tweeted out this. David stated, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I am not, in all caps, a fan of watching college football. It's tough to watch. And I assume all of you are asking the same question this person right here is asking. What makes college football hard to watch? Why would you say that? And here's what he had to say. Sloppy play all over the field, poor execution. It's like, quote unquote, nails on a chalkboard for my eyes when I watch it. They're not all bad, but I'd say there's a handful of college games I've actually enjoyed watching each year. Everything else is ... terrible. Wow. What about that? That's one of the hottest takes you're ever going to see. And that's his opinion, and he's entitled to it, and I guess a lot of people agree with him because his tweets got a bunch of likes. And guess what, people? Whether you like it or not, he's 100% right. Y'all know college football is #1 for me, but I also enjoy watching the NFL. And I will tell you right now, you watch college football on Saturday, then watch a couple of games. You ain't got to watch all of them, but watch a couple of games on Sunday and Monday night is night and day difference. It's not even comparable. The NFL game is so sleek, so smooth, and it's like a well-oiled machine. That's the greatest way to describe it. And to attest to his point here, nails on a chalkboard, heck, that's how I feel about watching my team sometimes. Because come on, man, we all know this. We've all had our team at one point in time have 2 or 3 false start penalties in a row, back to back. Whereas in the NFL, watch for that stuff. You rarely see false starts. You'll see a couple holding calls here and there, but I'm talking about all the mental mistakes that college football players made. Those are the ones that drive me insane. I don't get too mad at a holding call because that's something during the play. But false starts, delay games, all that, it happens way too much at the college level. And I'm not going to dissect everything, but I think he's right. There's also poor execution. But guess what, David? I'm going to enlighten you and everybody else that like this tweet or agree with it. That's why I and every single person part of our community love college football, because it's not perfect. It's not a well-oiled machine, and there's a ton of mistakes. It is as simple as that for me. That's why I love it so much, because you don't know what these 20-year-old kids are going to do. Some of them are ready for the NFL and they already have the NFL game, but 99.9% of others do not. And the great thing about this is there's no wrong opinion or wrong take on any of this, because you're entitled to your own opinion. I like college football, so of course I'm going to be biased and sit up here and advocate as why college football is the greatest sport on this planet. And to me at least, I don't think there's anything that can compare to the Alabama versus Auburn rival matchup, and same thing for this weekend with Michigan and Ohio State. That Ohio State and Michigan game means everything for those fans. Whereas, yeah, you got some rival matchups in the NFL, but I don't think it means everything to them if they lose a regular season matchup against their rival. Whereas Ohio State, Michigan, oh yeah, if you don't win that, it's a failure of a season. I could sit here for the next 20 minutes and we could talk about the differences of the NFL and college football, but I think you get the point. Like I said, though, I did want to address this a little bit, but we got to get a move on to the main topic of the main encore, the main reason you clicked onto this video. What in the world is going on with not just Michigan, but Uncle T? We're just going to get straight into it. If you don't know who Uncle T is, go watch the previous video. On a Michigan message board a couple of days ago, the alleged Uncle T wrote this. He titled it "One Final Post," and the username is The Real Touchman. Believe I'm saying that correctly, Touch Man. If I'm saying it wrong, I do apologize. He wrote, have to admit, have been working since 4 a.m. today, have not really been tracking this. It won't make my wife unhappy for me to stop supporting Michigan. Will save me time and us both money. Think you meant to say both of us money, but you get the point. I'll be to the point and clear. Number 1, not sure where the name Uncle T came from and don't know if it refers to me. And before we go any farther, I need to throw this little disclaimer in there. I should say this at the beginning. This is who most people think is Uncle T. Although he's like, I don't know if it's referring to me, most people believe this is him. 2, I did not fund nor have detailed knowledge of Connor's activities at Michigan. Could see he was involved somehow based upon where he was on the sideline, etc. I have called and texted him since he was suspended and resigned, as I have for many others in my life when they are going through a difficult time. Still don't think he broke any rules, and he has been treated badly. That's interesting, though. This guy says, still don't think he broke any rules, and he has been treated badly. Interesting. We'll come back to that in just a second. 3, got an email today from Champion Circle saying I have been kicked out with no phone call. No communication, no anything, based upon some posts here and other places. Glad I'm not in social media, stand-up act by many, particularly like some of the MSU and fan posts and DMs. 4, have seen too much BS over past day and I actually have work to do and it isn't this, for texts, emails, and even LinkedIn in all, I don't know what he's trying to say right at the end, BS and such. Long story short, he's just saying that he's amazed at how much BS there is. Bullet point number 5, had a feeling starting last night that someone or someone's on Michigan's side were trying to make me a scapegoat and they somehow leaked this today. Who else leaked it and said, Uncle T must be him. Hope those guys keep their heads in swivels. Payback, as I said, is, I'll end it with this. You can't prove what didn't happen, and no one even had the decency to even call me. Cowards is the softest word I can use. What about that? Uncle T going out with a bang, man. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like it. Continuing along here, someone suggests my old post label this is quote-unquote un-American, was ironic, etc., or saying David Cartford making me aware of, I don't even know what that word is, was somehow related to this situation. Dang, people need to get a grip. Making accusations without facts and the courage to face a person being accused is un-American to me. I'll still support the fine young men and staff. They are a great group and don't deserve this. Go Blue, beat MD and OSU, and this was posted Friday night. That's why I put MD there, but continuing along. To the haters, sorry for living the life you do, must be a sad way to live. So, yeah, there we have it. Uncle T signing out. Before we go any farther, we need to address this. Number 1, I know some people are going to say, well, you don't know Matt, or we don't know if this is actually Uncle T. If you're one of these people questioning that, I understand completely, because even I'm questioning that. It's a fair question. But what's really interesting to me is, number 1, this guy's username obviously is the real Touch Man, and that's why they're referring to him as Uncle T, so that lines up, right? His name on the message board and group starts with a T, and that's who they're calling Uncle T. Number 2, remember it says right here, he got removed or he got kicked from Champion Circle, which I assume is some boosters or alumni club. So that also lines up. At number 3, he stated that him and Connor Stallions, they have a relationship. They have each other's phone numbers, and he was texting him and whatnot. And last but not least, it's also really intriguing that he got kicked out of all this, and everybody's pointing the finger at him. I just find it hard to believe that somebody that was a valid member of this message board and a member of the Champion Circle would make all this up. And he was even talking about it in the beginning, oh yeah, it's not going to make my wife unhappy because it's just going to be more time and money for the both of us. So here's the $1 million question. Is this Uncle T? If I had to bet on it, I'd say it probably is. And one thing that also leads me to believe this is the real Uncle T is, as you see right here, he was defending Connor Stallions. He's like, oh yeah, they treated him badly. He didn't break any rules or anything, when, yes, he did break rules. The whole, oh, they treat him badly, that's up for debate. But saying he didn't break any rules, that's just delusional, because he did. And also on point number 5, he was mad because he said, payback, as is said, is a dot. I'll end with this. You can't prove what didn't happen, and no one even had the decency to even call me. Cowards is the softest word I can use. So obviously he's feeling some type of way about this, and to be honest, I feel like Michigan, they're just firing anybody and everybody that was associated with Connor Stallions. And we already talked about this. If you're associated with Connor Stallions, you're gone. They're going down the list. It's a domino effect. First, it was the linebackers coach, and now it's this guy, Uncle T. And I can promise you this, he ain't going to be the last one. More to come. Promise you. Michigan's in a bad situation, man. A very bad situation in that. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts on this down below. But